lifestyle. And Jesse and I were dating, and I took it to him, and he was like, it's not a real business, but you do your thing. Those were his words. You do your thing. And that kind of made me want to prove him wrong because that's just my personality. But he was supportive in me. He believed in me, just not necessarily that business model. And I jumped in head first. I was coachable. I followed the proven system that they had gone before me and done. I didn't need to reinvent the wheel. And within a few months, I was making about $1,000 a month. And I had shown Jesse that, and he's like, "Well, how? You're still managing the gym. You're still working all these hours. How are you bringing in any money?" And I said, "Well, when the gym's dead, because typically a gym has about an hour a day that's dead, nobody's in there, I would work my business from my phone. I would do some reach outs. I'd do some follow ups. I'd do the income generating activity. And then I'd go back to work. Or some days I'd get up 30 minutes earlier, or some days I'd skip, that the hour of veg out TV that we tend to do at night, and I'd work my business." And so I made some minor sacrifices. And after a year, I had replaced my manager's salary. Now, again, gym managers don't make a ton, but I was making about 36 a year, working 10 hours a week. And that's when Jesse's wheels started turning. And he said, "Well, what if you went all in on this?" And we hired a new gym manager who, let's be honest, guys, at this point in my life, was way more passionate about running a gym than I was. And so it was win-win for everyone involved. And that's when I created a six-figure income inside of 3.5 years of this network marketing company. And that's about the time Jesse and I said, "You know what, we need to really look at how we can be broader online, how we can take our business online." And we knew to make a real significant impact, it wasn't going to be the Jesse and Erika show. We needed people like you to come on board, to come and teach the same nutrition practices that we were teaching, to go out into the world and make a difference. Because if we had 50 or 500 clients, that's still only 50 or 500. But if each and every one of you and everyone to come goes out and gets 50 or 500 clients, well, that's where you start to put a dent in this crazy thing called nutrition. So that's kind of my story, you guys. But all in all, it's about being coachable, following the system that's already been proven. There's no need to reinvent the wheel, and learning the skill sets that it takes to get to whatever level that you desire.
Yeah, awesome. And team, we're going to allow Q&A. So write down at the end, write down some questions that you can directly ask these people to help build your hope and help build your belief. I know Erika talks about this online system. I went into her when I was kind of like, okay, I want to do this. And I went into it, and I went to prove it wrong. I'm like, there's no way. It's too simple. You want me to do what? So I was like doing these reach out messages, and they worked. And I was like, wow, I've been playing so small. This is crazy. So the next person, I actually live vicariously through this person, because he is doing at the age of 28, which it took me 42 years to do. Okay. This guy is going to talk next. He was in corporate America, but kind of similar to me. He had a great job, worked with amazing, amazing people. And I don't want to speak for him, but I just think that he thought, like, you know what? I think that I just want to be my own boss. I don't think I'm a very good employee, but I think that I'm a very good leader. And he recently just went all in at 28 years old and said, you know what? I'm going to bet on me. And guess what? I'm going to spend my days with my wife and my newborn, and I'm going to work this nutrition coaching business. So that would be the owner of New Age Nutrition, Hudson Wyckoff.
What's going on, guys? Everyone hear me okay?
Yeah.
I would take 28 years old all day long to be 20 again. Thank you for that. Actually 32, so yeah, no worries. But yeah. So guys, I'm gonna try to keep this within the 5-minute window that I was given, which is gonna be extremely difficult for me. I got this text message just an hour or so ago from Jesse. He's like, "Hey, do you want to hop on and talk tonight?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to hop on and talk tonight." That's what I live to do, is to share my story, talk to others, inspire others. I hope that, if I can just help one person on this call tonight, then my job has been served. So my time really started, back probably 10, 15 years ago when I got my first big boy job, working for a corporate 100 company. I thought I had everything right coming out of college. I was like, all right, this is a pretty sweet gig. At the time, it really wasn't. I kind of worked my way up fairly quickly. But after about 5 years of working at corporate DuPont, being transferred from Illinois to Indiana, I was like, I've got to get out of this rat race. I got to figure something else out. All during this time, I was also coaching CrossFit. And so I would drive literally an hour north to Tipton, Indiana. If anyone knows where that's at, I'm living downtown Indianapolis. And I drive all the way back down to Indianapolis, coach a class, get my workouts in, and then drive back up to Fishers, where I was living for the first 10 months when I lived in Indiana. That was my schedule. Up at 4:30 a.m., didn't get home until about 9:30, 10 p.m. I did that for like a year, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was just run ragged. And so, of course, I'm talking to gym owners. I'm like, guys, you've got to get me a job here. I want out of this rat race. I want to do something. But I knew at the same time that I was going to have to take a 50% pay cut. So there's a lot of things to be weighed, right? And so it's like, do I try to go this route to where I'm going to lose all this money, the security, the benefits, the 401k, the pension? And don't forget, I had a baby on the way. Right? Crazy. So I'm in Hawaii working for DuPont right now, and I get a phone call from the owners of the gym. They go, hey, we had an opportunity. We had another gym call up and say, hey, do you guys want to buy this gym out? And so they thought on it really hard. They're like, we don't have time, but maybe we have this other kid that wants to come in and join. And so that's when they called me. So I'm in Hawaii. I get this phone call from them. I'm like, guys, I'm all in, right? Let's do this. This is me having my first opportunity to live my dream of leaving the corporate world of what I thought at the time. And, which was hard, leaving the job security and everything of that, again, which I thought was at the time. And then to make matters even more difficult, I was at a crossroads within DuPont. I was going through the interview process. I was in the final 3 people of going from a site safety supervisor to a regional safety manager. So overseeing 13 different sites on the East Coast. So of course that comes with a giant pay raise. I know that is within grasp. Well, I chose to take the leap of faith, spread the wings and jump. That's the only thing we can do. I didn't want to have that thought, on my deathbed and what could have happened. I know my parents thought I was crazy. I know my wife's parents are like, your husband, you guys have a baby on the way. Is he doing the right thing, right? So many questions, kind of like Jesse was talking about, the doubters coming in. And that's what made me work that much harder and to prove them wrong. Again, little did I know that opening up that one door would make me follow or have many more doors open that I could follow my passion. So again, thought I was leaving one corporate world to have my own job. All in reality, I find out that I'm essentially working another just job, right? I'm just working another job. It was as simple as that. I would literally work 12 to 14-hour days at a gym, personal training. Then I started nutrition. I started the nutrition business under the brand and grew that to 75 clients. And again, I was working my tail off trying to just put food on my table and then have zero energy when I get home. That just, it wasn't for me anymore. I was lucky and fortunate enough to have some connections, again, through the gym. Very grateful of that to connect us with MacroMillionaire and give us the opportunity that we all have right now today, and to be paired up on Mondays, Wednesdays, or Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays with you guys, and to learn from everyone, which has given me the confidence to leave my job, my job, and start my own business. Because I know that I can't rely on anyone else out there to feed my kids, to keep a roof over my head besides me. When I left that job, guess what? I put the nose down and I went to work. I started grinding. And 1 month in, I'm on week 4. I'm going to make more money than I've ever made working for DuPont, working for this other gym that I used to work for, grinding 12, 16-hour days. Are you kidding me? Like, that's what it's about. Because it's on me. It's my business. It's my job. It's my family. That's what I need to be there for. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I own this. Man, a couple other things, guys, is I had a question come up. I know we talked about this on another call, but I don't think everyone was there because we got 24 people on this call. And I was talking to another potential coach about this, and she's like, don't you think that the market is saturated? I hope that this last piece leaves you guys all inspired tonight. She goes, don't you think that the market is saturated? And, you know, from kind of an outsider perspective, it's like you see the health and wellness people everywhere, right? There's so many things being posted. And my wife, she works for Noom. I don't know if any of you guys who know who Noom is. So she's a competitor of mine, right? So we battle head to head every day. Hey, how many people did you talk to today? How many people did you talk to today? Awesome. They're pulling in 20,000 people a day, new people. January 1st, they are projected to bring in 80,000 people per day. That's how many people are out there waiting for us to reach out to them. We are doing ourselves. I know I've had issues in the past myself getting out on Facebook. I know myself, I've had issues of making those sales. But if we don't get out on Facebook, make ourselves present, if we don't get out and reach out to those people, we are doing them a disservice. Each and every single one of us on this call has a different specialty that we can relate with different types of people. And you find those groups of people, you are doing them a disservice if we don't reach out to them, we don't help them. So continue to get out there, be present, reach out to those individuals, and guys, continue changing lives.
Hudson, that is awesome. I remember when you first got into MacroMillionaire, and you were like, man, where I'm working is tapped. I don't need to do these reach outs, it's tapped. And then you went and did the reach outs, and you were like, okay, wasn't as tapped. And that kind of reminds me of, yeah, the market has never, ever, for health and wellness, for good, solid nutrition coaches that aren't selling like snake oil, you know, it's never been better. That's awesome. So, and we are going to hold off for questions at the end. So please, guys, that's one of the biggest benefits. Hold on to the end and ask these guys and gals direct questions. You know what I mean? Be like, hey, go right for the heart. Be like, no, I need to know. So that's what they're here for. This is to build your guys' belief. So nobody should get off this being like, well, what exactly did he do? Or what do they offer here? Or anything like that. So coming up next is a young lady that I've known for a long time. And I was stalking her Facebook earlier. And I went back like a year ago. And I was just looking. She post some things here and there about her pets and whatnot. And I have watched this person grow as a human being, as an entrepreneur, but what really likes her as an influencer. I go to her Facebook now and it's like, I'm attached to it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this person puts out so much value. It is awesome. And I think you're going to find a lot of coaches in the network do that. But it's funny because we had a conversation and she was kind of shy and she's like, I don't like to do Facebook lives. They kind of exhaust me. She did a 7-day live challenge. She went live every day of the week. And her business has just been growing and growing and growing. It's super awesome. So Angie Miller, please welcome. Hold on, we're gonna unmute you. There you go.
Am I on? Am I on?
Yes, you are good to go.
Well, thank you for that introduction. That was amazing. And I have to follow Hudson. His speech was so passionate that I feel like I can't follow it. But so a little bit about me. I went through my own transformation with nutrition. So that's kind of what got me interested in nutrition. But really, I had these aspirations of being a personal trainer. I had a 9-to-5 job. I was sitting at a desk as a staff accountant. And I thought, okay, I want to be this, gym owner. I think it's pretty typical for most of us. The opportunity came and I actually bought a gym. I bought a CrossFit gym here in Martinsville, Indiana. And I actually bought it to save it because it was my CrossFit gym. It was starting to fail. So I put all my eggs in this basket and thought, I'm going to pray on this. I hope it works. So I bought it and it works. But after about 5 years of that grind every day, because I'm the only one who ran it, I did the classes, I did the marketing, I was IT, janitor, you name it, I did it all, and I did it all for 5 years. So after that, I really just became burnt out. I was not the best version of myself. People were telling me, you're just not you anymore. There was just nothing left to give to anybody. I was just exhausted. So after some stepping back and looking at everything, I thought I have to walk away. So I walked away from a gym that I built up to 100 members that I had worked on so hard for 5 years and, passed it off to my husband and just kind of sat back and kind of just repaired spiritually, physically. And then I remember thinking, well, what is my new purpose? What am I going to do? And it was actually a call with you. You called me about something kind of unrelated, just kind of checking in on me. And I got to talking to you and said, what do I do now? And I was saying I needed a new purpose. And he's like, you're like, you already have it. You have your purpose. And so I had the opportunity to, join you. And at first, at that imposter syndrome, I thought, there's no way I can run a nutrition program. I just don't know enough. I don't know all these answers to all these questions I know people are going to have. So I was kind of resistant at first. And I know that you talked to me for, a few months, and would touch base with me again. And I was like, yeah, not ready. But then one day I was like, I'm going to do this. So I sat down and talked to my husband and said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to start a nutrition business. And he was really pushing me towards this cookie cutter business that, all these other CrossFit gyms are using. And I said, absolutely not. I want to work with Jesse. I'm like, this is science-based. This isn't cookie cutter. I can pick up the phone and talk to him if I have a question, So I fought hard and I won. So I got in. And like I said, at first I started posting a few things on my page, but as a gym owner, I thought, well, you know what? I'm not going to have to work very hard at this. They're just going to come to me. All these people from the gym are just going to flock to me. And that didn't really happen. So then those posts started happening, and I'd post maybe once a day. And I just kind of sat back, and it was like having this sign, I'm open, and just waiting for people to come in. And they weren't coming in. And I thought, well, what's wrong? Why is this not working? And then one day it's like this switch flipped. And I thought, Angie, you haven't even tried the process. There's a process in place. The DMOs, your daily method of operations, are right there, and you're not doing them. So I just made the conscious decision, okay, every day I'm going to start doing this, and I'm going to see if this works. So I started it started working, and I started getting more and more clients. And so that was kind of the pivotal moment for me. And like you said, I'm kind of an introvert. I don't really get out too much, but as you can tell by my social media, it's picking up. I'm generating more and more on that page. And like I said, now that I've gotten more clients and I'm getting better results, for these people, and I'm posting those, is generating more people seeing these, before and afters. And now they're starting to contact me. So I, had this little goal of like 20 people, and I've surpassed that. I'm at about 35 clients now.
Wow. I remember when you're like, my ultimate goal is 30 clients, and now 35.
Yeah. So I keep setting a new goal for myself, but I would just say, trust the process. If you get into this, it absolutely works. You just have to do it, daily. Just follow that process and it will work for you.
I love it. And that is, I didn't introduce the name of your company. So it's Eat Well, Be Well Nutrition. Mm-hmm. So definitely, that's Angie Miller. Definitely check her out. And I do remember, the day that I think you had a talk with Jason with Warrior Fit. And then all of a sudden, we always say, you gotta plug in, you hear us say that over and over. I don't know if you've missed literally a training since then. I think I've missed more trainings than you have. And I'm like, I'm on every one almost, so that is awesome. And we love seeing you plug in every single training, Angie, and to see the growth of your business, but just, and you as a human being, it lights me up. It lights up my heart. So that's awesome. Thank you. So I know what people are thinking right now. People are like, okay, well, Erika worked for a gym, Hudson worked for a gym, Angie owned a gym. Some of you might be like, maybe how I would be like, well, what? I've never set foot in a gym, or I've never been the Jimerson, or I didn't own a gym, or I didn't work, at a gym. So this next person who I'm going to introduce, the CEO, owner of Warrior Fit Nutrition. This guy rocks. He's busy dad of 5. He used to work corporate America. That wasn't working out for him. Like never seeing his 5 kids, just that wasn't good for him. His wife, maybe not seeing her as much. So he went all in on himself about a year ago. And this guy, like, you talk about no gym experience. I mean, this guy, he definitely probably worked out. I'll let him tell you, but he definitely didn't work for any gyms or anything like that. Just a busy father of 5 with a big heart to help other human beings. So that's the owner of Warrior Fit Nutrition, Jason Patterson.
Hey guys, my name's Jason. So yeah, Jesse hit the nail on the head. I was getting ready to say that. I am not affiliated with a gym. I am just a little old guy that, works out at Planet Fitness. That's the extent of my gym time and my gym membership. So guys, like Jesse said, I am a married man, father of 5, and I worked for corporate America for 14 years. I had what I felt like was a great job. I actually left college to pursue that job. I was working for Coca-Cola. So it was one of those things that I came in and I had the opportunity to move up very quick. I led a sales team within Coca-Cola and worked my way up to the top of the facility there here in Anderson, Indiana. I was making very, very good money at that time. But I knew that there was more out there. And the reason I knew that, and the thing that really got me thinking about it was, I said I'm a father of 5. I now have a blended family. At that time, my wife and I had 2 kids, and I was not able to spend time with them. I was losing my kids. I was missing out on things with my kids to the extent that I ended up going through a divorce, and that kind of woke me up. What is worth losing your wife? What is worth losing that time with your children? There's nothing out there. So guys, I had to make the choice. There was some opportunities that arose within that. Coca-Cola, I know this is crazy to think about a huge corporation like that, but we had went through a buyout. And I had the opportunity at that point to take a voluntary severance package. Now guys, I had no plan. I am a Christian man. I'm a believer in God. And I had no idea other than he was going to carry me through. And I up and left with a 2-year severance package. And during that time, after my divorce and I went through all of that, I was blessed with a gift from God named Ashley. And she came into my life and we had the opportunity to open up a daycare. So that's what we did. And that's what I thought my next thing was going to be, was opening up a daycare. And we did that for so long. We felt so fulfilled because we loved kids. We were able to give back and care for those little ones. But again, we got about 3 years into that and something happened and it was just like, we still weren't fulfilled. And it was like, we know we're made for more. What can we do here? So COVID hits 2020, March 13th, the daycare shuts down. I had started my nutrition business. I had launched back in October. Was going good, guys. I started out launching in October, started out with 2 clients, still operating the daycare, didn't have a whole lot of time. I was working it part-time, started out with 2 clients in the month of October, bumped it up to, I was at a total of 9 clients by the end of November. By the end of my first 90 days with Warrior Fit Nutrition and Wellness, now keep in mind, I had no gym experience. It was just me reaching out, going through those daily methods of operation like Angie was talking about, through social media, strictly 100% online. Ended up with 30 clients my first 90 days. We're bringing in $6,000 a month, feeling great about ourselves, and then COVID hits. And it was like, oh no, what is going to happen now? Business is going to go down. We're going to be in the dumps. But no, guys, we had continued to work our business to the point that in May of this year, we had our biggest month to date. And we were 8 months into opening Warrior Fit and we cracked our first $10,000 month. We were living it. We were up 600% the month of May, and it just continued to grow and grow from there, to the extent of we decided, you know what, we're going to back the daycare down to just kind of part-time. We're going to bring our full-time kids back in July. That's what we did. And then we realized, you know what, we can close this thing down. We don't need to do this anymore. And in August, when the kids went back to school, we closed the daycare down completely, shut that down. And not only has Warrior Fit continued to thrive, we're now up to 91 clients that we're working with. We have also been able to fulfill my wife's dream of opening her own clothing line. It's a faith-based clothing line. We've been able to do that. She's running her business. We get to work together every single day. I get questions all the time. You work with 91 clients. That must be just draining you. You said you wanted more time. Guys, it's actually created time for me. I work, if I'm being honest, about 12 to 15 hours a week with those clients, to maintain that schedule. Now, I do that in a way to where we've been fortunate enough that we've been able to bring another coach on board with us to help us coach those clients and to do those things. So those options are out there and those options are available as well. But it's all been through the systems, through the processes that we've been taught. I'm going to leave it with this. One last thing that we talk about, and I don't say this enough, but I heard Jesse say it. I heard Hudson say it. You know, you're going to have those naysayers. You're going to have those doubters. I like to call them your haters. Guys, if you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong. You want those haters to be back there, because that's my fuel. That's what pushes me, because I know I'm made for more. And I know that each and every one of you that are listening to this, each and every one of you, you're on here for a reason. You're made for more as well.
Man, that's awesome. And Jason also is one of our business development coaches. So, I mean, he went on, he was coaching and kind of like what Erika was saying earlier. He's like, you know what, Jesse, what more can I do? So him and I have linked arms together, and he's now one of the business development coaches. So if you're on the Zoom and you're not in the network yet, you may have had a reach out from Jason, and he does a lot of our training and development. So we're very, very blessed that Warrior Fit bet on themselves, planted that seed, and then grew that seed now to the point where they're here on our corporate staff, which is awesome. So the next person was one of the very first people in our program. And normally it's like, I got to do a lot of belief building for people. It's like a lot of testimonials, a lot of Zooms like this, and it just takes a lot of belief building. And I get it. It did with me, you know, when I went all in until I was forced to with the bankruptcy. But this person was kind of like, yeah, I'm in. I mean, it was awesome. And my gosh, she is also on our corporate staff. She is our director of education. And I will let her tell you this, but what I get from her heart, she is just an educator. She wants to teach people the science of nutrition, the mindset of nutrition, the whole macro approach with exercise and wellness. So that would be the owner and CEO of Crying in My Cheesecake, Danielle Hofer. Danielle, thank you for taking the time on such short notice.
Hey, thanks for having me. I don't know how I'm supposed to follow all of y'all. That's just a lot. Thank you, Jesse, for that introduction. But I am not like, I've always been an athlete. I've always loved working out. My problem was never the working out. It was the food. And I actually was with MacroMillionaire before it was called MacroMillionaire as a client. And I found so much freedom. I found a place where I felt like I belonged and people saw me for who I was, not what I looked like out here, and helped me to fulfill, you know, those things that were missing on the inside. So it was about August of 2018, I think it was, maybe. No, it was 2017, August of 2017. And like God had just laid it upon my heart that, well, you're having this freedom. You love to teach people. Why wouldn't you do this for others? And I'm like, and this was not even a thing. Like I had no clue this was on the radar for the MacroMillionaire thing or MacroMillionaire, none of that. And I just been praying on it for a while. And I, again, just pouring into people. I love to teach. I love to write. I love all of these things. And February of, was it 2018? I think 2018, February 2018, I got a call. And I said, you know what, let me pray on it just to confirm and talk with my husband. And I'm like, you know what? Yes, let's do this. I was in, but of course I was in, but then all of a sudden these fears and these imposter things come up that, oh, who am I? Who am I that I've been obese more of my life than not? I am not the picture perfect, like humongous muscles, although I do have some muscles coming back. So excited, but I'm not like this picture perfect looking model of what typical health and wellness looks like. My blood work says everything is fine. Like my athletic ability is great. My food is great. And so I'm like, who in the world am I? But I'm one of those people that says, I refuse to be a statistic. I refuse to allow heart disease and diabetes to become my reality, even though I have long lineage of it. And I am evidence that you don't have to, or that people don't have to settle for less than their very best. And my goal and like why I invested in the time and money, because it wasn't just, not to bash MLMs, but it wasn't an MLM. I am my own dang business. It's me. It is me, and it's make or break. I put everything I put in it's me. It is not, I'm not working for another company. I'm not working for another person above me. I'm working for myself. And then that means my motivation and my passion and my pursuit of what I really believe I'm called to do gets to like just fly out with fire because I'm not held back. So how did I overcome that fear? I plugged in with this network. This network is a place where you can put your feet under, like, well, when we were able to meet in person, underneath the same table. I took my test with doctors. Was it Mr. Indiana? Like all these, I did not look like I belong there, but I did. Everybody, it is such a cool network where you can be who you are and go along, go at your own pace kind of thing. And always, always, always be poured into. So I invested time and my money myself because I also I've never wanted to rely on my husband. I never want to rely on another person because he could die tonight or he could die tomorrow. And I want something that I can do and invest in myself. And yes, I homeschool my 3 kids. Yes, my husband's gone a lot, but that's just temporary. What I can do and give and live out of in giving back or service or whatever is one of our needs. And this is something that's provided that for me. What life looks like now is the tons and tons of text messages from clients of their success that no one else would get. So one of my clients today texted me and she said, hey, I've gotten off of, that insurance requires some people to have like a health coach on for their insurance so they can have coverage or whatever. I've had my second client that was on that kind of a program, and the insurance has just kind of left them off onto me because they've had such good success. And it, like Jesse said, it's the mindset. I love the mindset education with my clients. I love the science aspect, the physiology, and teaching them, oh, you're not crazy. This is why it's happening. So here's what we do to bridge that gap. Love it. And then getting to do the education piece for MacroMillionaire. Oh, it's like everything that I could ever dream, I get to do. And that's what I want to leave you with here. This is, I get to, not I have to. And if you're not in it, and if your passion is not like being stirred, if you are not feeling like that, get with someone in this group and talk through it. Get past whatever that barrier is. You can't live a small life and think you're going to make major changes and have a significance of life. Get connected. This group is the place to be, and I'm so happy to be here.
Danielle, you rock. I mean, I love it. It's either break down or break through. And Erika says what you were just saying at the end there a lot. Hey, let us solve for X. MacroMillionaire. So macro is the big picture, okay, the macro perspective. Millionaire is great abundance. So what you're hearing is, yes, people are growing in financial abundance. We're a business development program. That's our job. Awesome. But you're hearing, wow, my marriage is rocking. Okay, that would be more the family time. You're hearing from Danielle, wow, I'm fulfilled. So they're more fulfilled. That's the macro approach. It's not just like, hey, let's get in here, let's make a bunch of money and not have any time, not have any family, not have any spiritual growth, not have any mindset growth. No, we want the businesses in this network to grow uniformly as people. And that's really how you're going to leave your mark on the world. So absolutely, that is so awesome. So now with the drum roll, this is your opportunity right here, right now to ask any of us, anyone that you've heard, questions. Okay, I know it's tough. Sometimes, should we ask? Should we not ask? Yes, now is the time. So if you're in the network, out of the network, I'll start us off. So Hudson, sorry, 32, not 28. You just look so young, brother. I mean, there had to have been fears. There had to have been. I mean, like you said, like you're just 4 months in with 4 weeks in new age nutrition. I mean, you got a little one at home. This is serious business. I mean, there had to have been a lot of fears. Is there anything in particular that you would tell someone as far as like, hey, do the reach outs, follow the DMOs, do your IPAs, or what was the light switch moment for you that you're like, hey, I'm all in, dude?
Yeah, I think when I was working my other job, it was, I always had something to lean back on. I wasn't, I had that cushions, I guess, so to speak, right? That someone else was going to save me. And I still wasn't making what I wanted to make. I wasn't helping the people that I wanted to help in that type of way because I was so burnt out. And, once I finally decided to take that leap after a long time coming, I knew that I had no other choice but to do those DMOs, to do those reach outs. And I could see that coming. I'd see the writing on the wall with COVID that this was the way, again, because Jesse was talking about with where I was previously at the gym being tapped out, and it wasn't tapped out. As soon as I started doing those reach outs, I got another 30, 40 clients from the gym alone. It was like, how is this possible? Just from literally sending a personal message to those individuals and asking them how they're doing. It's like, oh yeah, I've been thinking about you and signing up for nutrition. It's like, oh, cool. That was timely. But I mean, there's so many occurrences that I've got connected with people just like that. Doing those daily reach outs, doing those DMOs. Another example is I went into to the YMCA and I saw the top 20 list. I looked at the top 5 people and I reached out to them on Facebook and I said, hey, I think I saw you at the Y the other day. I hope things are well. That was it. Nothing else. 2 days later, one of the guys was my clients. So finding ways that worked for you. I reach out to people with my connections. I love coffee. I love hiking. I love camping. I'm a family man. I'm a dad. I believe in Jesus. And so those are the types of groups that I'm joining. And, the more of those groups that I get engaged with, those are the people that I want to be around with. So those are my type of clients. So I'm not just going out and searching for whichever client. I want to surround myself with people I want to be around too.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jeanette asked a really good direct question in the comments, and I think a lot of people have this fear or this uneasiness. So Erika, Danielle, Jason, you guys anyone can all feel free to weigh in on this, but. So we have blueprints because a lot of people, when they're coming in, they're like, what the heck do I say to people? I mean, how do I let them know that now open sign is up? So we have countless amounts of blueprints that we use. Some people call them scripts. I call them blueprints that you can kind of change on your own. But let's answer this directly for Jeanette now. How do you do these reach outs without sounding like salesy or like, hey, I'm going to kill a seal to make a better deal. Deal ends today. How do you do these reach outs and do it in a way that shows your true heart that you really care?
Yeah, so for me personally, Jesse, it's all about developing that relationship, whether it's through Facebook or whether it's through Instagram. It's not just going out and adding new friends and then all of a sudden flooding them with a plethora of information, of resources. It's about developing that relationship with those folks. It's about commenting on their post. It's about interacting with them, sending them a message, just saying, hey, I saw you're into whatever it may be. I love some of that same stuff too. We don't want to lie about it. We want to be real. We want to be honest with them, but just developing that relationship, just like you would if you ran into somebody, out at a restaurant or in the gym and you're just trying to make a new friend. That's essentially what you're doing. And it's going to evolve into that. Just be genuine, be yourself. People want to know what you're up to. That's why if you go out and look at a lot of the coaches' Facebook posts, and Jeanette, I know you're the one that answered this, you do a great job of telling your daily life and your story every single day. People are going to resonate with that. I made the mistake when I first started with going out and just going basically after everybody. I didn't know who my ideal client was. And that's one thing that I love about MacroMillionaire is there's a course for that. Discovering your ideal client. My ideal client who resonates with the 39-year-old man, father of 5, that's busy, made every excuse to let his nutrition go, but overcame it and is now a nutrition coach, now doing these things to help 91 different people out. Those are the things that I would say. Just be yourself, be real, and have that discussion with them. They're going to come to you as well, but you continue to interact with them.
Yeah. I always look at it this way, and I love our blueprints. I love the one, hey, this may or may not be for you. It's cool. But I want to be able to let people know what I do. And if it's not for you, totally cool. I find that a lot of people that blow up my inbox, it isn't like that. It's like, oh, this pill will get you ripped. And it's not like, hey, man, I see that you work out a lot. This may or may not be for you, but would you be willing to take a look? I mean, man, that does not sound bad. It doesn't sound salesy. Or, hey, I'm really, really passionate. I just launched my nutrition coaching company. This may or may not be for you, but can I tell you a little bit more about what I do? Oh my gosh, I was just talking to my wife about we need to lose some weight. So for me, it's, you don't know which person is sitting down right now waiting for that reach out. You don't know. And I've had people literally say, I can't believe I'm thinking about this right now. So it's kind of like when you put a billboard up, some are going to look, some are going to ignore it, and some are going to be like, oh, dude, McDonald's has half off fries. Awesome. It's the exact same way. And what we're really good at is, we don't do that cheesy sales that you guys have probably been exposed to. And I think that's why probably a lot of people have that fear. It's like, wow, am I going to have to become that guy or that gal? No, absolutely not. Our blueprints come from, Eric Worre. He's one of the best network marketing trainers in the world, if not the best. And here's the thing. We want your business to be in business for 50, 60, 70 years and really make this mark. So if you're worried about like, hey, what do I say to people? We take you through that. That's part of your daily method of operation. And we have exact blueprints. You don't have to think of what do I do? What do I say? That's laid out for you.
I'm going to piggyback on top of that. Something that's helped me, because I don't like just cold calling, I would say, people. So I will go to people I know that have a larger audience or even have a different sphere of influence around me. Even if they're across the country, across the world, and I'll just simply say, and I'll say, hey, I don't know if you know what I'm doing, but do you know anybody, or are you interested in, or have you heard? And then usually those people are actually really helpful, and they'll say, oh, I'll keep an ear out if it's not for them. And I've actually had people, if I follow up with those people that I've asked that to, if I follow up, they'll actually think of somebody, and I've had things come through that way as well. So just, again, it's relationship building and just being real.
One other thing on that too, and I'll kind of take this, and I saw Steve Hill post here about being a part of an MLM and transitioning from that. That is one thing that, I was with an MLM before as well. And, it is easy for people to think that, but the way to overcome that is start posting about your business. Start posting about what you do, just like you did when you were with that MLM. You were posting about the products that you sold. You were posting about what you believed in. And, I still take products from the MLM I was with. I still believe in some of those products. That's not saying you have to say, oh, no, I can't associate with them. No, it's just about letting them know that your new business is open. And not only that, but sprinkling some of your personal life in there, sprinkling some of that and just being real, genuine people. That's how you overcome that and get away from it. It's no different than me leaving Coca-Cola, and people didn't know that I left Coca-Cola, and they see me taking pictures in my living room with 20 kids running around thinking, what is going on? This guy works at Coke. Now he's in the middle of his living room taking pictures with kids. What's happening? It's the same thing there, whether you're with an MLM, whether you're working for Verizon or whoever it may be. You just left the job to explore a new opportunity. Make it known and let people know that. And that's how you go about doing that.
Erika, did you have anything that you kind of wanted to add to that? Because I know Erika is in an awesome MLM. I'm actually in it too. I don't make any money off it because I don't engage in the PMOs because I'm all in here. But I go because I love their mindset training. I love their culture. I love their people. And I love the fact that I believe and take their products. So, Erika, kind of being active in an MLM, and also when you built our nutrition model, is there anything that you had to overcome with that? Or
I think the biggest thing is just to be authentic, like Jason was saying. I would do if people knew me as, the MLM girl, or they attached me to that company, I would get really, really loud on my social media and do Facebook Lives and do posts and say, this is what we're doing now. I would go live and I would say, we've transitioned from that to this. This is why, obviously never bashing the past company. But I left a company and went to a new company in 2015. And I was with that old company for 3 years, I think. And it was like, well, wait, this is completely different. This is a different space. I don't want people to associate, and so I had to kind of overcome some of that too. But I think the biggest way is just like what Jason was saying, just get loud, let people know what you're doing, why you're doing it, share your passion, share your past that's brought you to this point, and just let people enter into your lives.
I got a good question for either Julie LaPorta or Angie Miller. So, and my question is, so kind of like both of you, you got in and were learning, but it's like you kind of reminded me of myself. When I looked at the DMOs and I was doing these, I was like, there's just no way. There's just no way. So what got you guys to just be like, all right, I'm going to do these DMOs, no matter what. I'm going to show up to the trainings. What kind of flipped the switch on that?
As for me, it was just hearing everybody's testimony. If it was just one person saying that they were doing their DMOs and it was working, that would be one thing. But when you have one person and one person and one person and another person and another person, it adds up. So it's got to work. It gets frustrating sometimes. Not gonna lie, when you get negative, you're gonna get the no's, and I've been getting a lot of the no's, especially around, right now for whatever reason, just in this thing. Then I called Jason and I'm like whining and crying and but as soon as we got off the text, I get a message from somebody signing up. And so I signed up a new client right after. Once a week, I'm going to message him because it seems like right afterwards, I'm going to get a client. But it was just when you see everybody else doing the DMOs, when you see and you hear, when you get on the meetings and you hear about everybody and you hear the testimonies, it's got to work. Not everybody. It's for everybody. And when you see more than one person having success, then that says there's something to that. And so that's what's like, okay, just keep doing it. Keep doing it. How many times have I heard you all say, just keep doing it? I've heard Jason mention it over and over. And Erika, just keep posting, just keep reaching out, keep doing your DMOs. So
yeah, no, it's awesome.
I
think that's I love what you said too, is we're all in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like, I show up in these trainings, even though I'm the one doing the training a third of the time, and it's Danielle or Jay, I show up for me. I'm showing up because to help build my belief. I've been doing this 23 years. And that's why it's like, when someone says like, hey, how do I get to Warrior Fit? Plug in. How do I get plug in, do your DMOs? And it's like, I know I sound like a robot like that, but that is it. That's the magic sauce. I just gave you the secret ingredients to the magic sauce. You guys can all go sell that for millions.
Yeah, Jesse, I just want to talk about like what you said the other day. We had our coaching Zoom and you talked about showing up to practice. Do you guys think professional athletes make it to the NBA, to the NFL, to MLB? Do you think they just make it there because they're gifted, because it's in their genetics? Heck no. They show up to practice every day. They go to the extra trainings. They're the first one in the gym. They're the last one out. That's exactly what this is all about. And you guys showing up again tonight, that just proves that you want it. You're showing up to practice. That's what it is. And that's how you get to that level.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. Is there any questions out there from anyone that people want to ask before we close it up?
Yeah, I had a message directly sent over to me, Jesse, and it was, can you share what a typical day looks like as far as routine goes? Oh, cool. And I mean, honestly, it's nothing has really changed from what they've been saying in regard to do your daily DMOs. So, I wake up in the morning and that's the first thing I do. I go and I hit, friends list, go to those groups that I'm talking about. I'm adding those 5 to 10 people. Again, the coffee, the dad, the workout, the hiking, the Jesus groups that I want to be a part of. And then from there, I'm probably heading into sending out my game plan scripts to people that I've been working those conversations with. from that position, I'm probably at the same time going through. So I like to go back into my Facebook group and sort my friends by ABC order, make a little note where I left off. And at that point, that's where I'm leaving off. I'm going name by name as I go down. Some of these people I've messaged already before, so I'm not going to be sending them, or I haven't messaged before, so I'm not going to be sending them my sales game plan script. It's going to be, hey, let's reignite the conversation. Hey, how are things going? I saw you post X, Y, and Z. Hey, your new profile picture with your dog is great, right? Can I get back in the Facebook algorithm? And then I move right down to the next person. I like to try to group those. So if I'm going through and sending scripts out, I will come back, I'll write that person's name down, and then keep scrolling down, hitting the game plan scripts. I'll go back to that name of people, then I'll go and copy paste for that group of 10, 15, 20 people, and I'll just change the names. But I like to group them out really into kind of 3 different categories. Is it my game plan script people? Is it my introduction people? Or is it my reestablishing contact, or keep the conversation going? And I'll keep that pretty much script the same for that one day, and then fire through those people.
Awesome. Yeah, team, we have courses. If you're not in network, we have courses that take you all through that step by step. And when you hear about these reach outs, we do these live together as a team on Monday nights. Okay, so this is not a, hey, watch a video, go do it. It's, hey, we're going to be doing it on Monday night. Come on aboard and we'll do it together. I think Richard and Selena had a question.
Hi.
Hello.
We had a question because we are Jason's clients and he is absolutely amazing. But it seems like all now is online and reaching out virtually. What does it look like coaching after COVID? Did you guys previously meet with your clients, or how did that work? And how do you think it's going to work in the future?
Sure. So when we proved the model, this was back in 2017, 2018. Mainly 2017 was our big year of proving the model, so that there was no COVID or anything. And we found what was the most effective for us. It allowed us to help the most people, was an online model. And then we build out private groups, which would be their community. So their kind of online community. That works out great for us. It allows us to help as many people as we possibly can. We had clients in China at one point. However, I know that other people they're organic. So they like to meet more organically at a place. So it's not just an online model. It just gives you that higher net to cast. So you can absolutely use, we equip your business with everything that you need, whether you use it online or whether you use it brick and mortar or organically.
Yeah, I think that's a matter of just pick your poison. You know, what resonates with you and where you feel you're going to do it. I know David and Landell are both on here, and I think they both operate a lot of the brick and mortar. They're more face to face than they are, being with an online presence. So, I think that's something that I think, Jesse, they've had that conversation with you here recently, haven't they? Just as far as wanting to explore more online, because they have been right there face to face a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you did mention David and Landell. So they've built an incredible nutrition company, pretty much zero online. We just had a conversation, I think Tuesday, and now they're like, hey, we want to do a bigger impact. They have 30 clients right now, all organic, might be a little bit more than that. And they're like, hey, we want to cast a larger net. So organic's been very good by them, but now they want to just help even more people. So as far as like how often you would suggest in your DMOs, we follow an approach what's called ED, educate, demonstrate, and entertain. So if I look at any of these coaches that are in our network, if I go to their Facebook page, it should be very clear that they are a giving human being, okay? They're giving me tips, and we provide them all this, and we provide you guys all this, but whether tips on how to make a shake, or tips on how to make a certain food, or a free recipe, or maybe something motivational, then obviously some things about themselves personally. That's going to go on your Facebook page as well, so people get to know you. So we recommend 3 posts a day. I know when Erika and I were proving the model, it was a morning post, afternoon, and evening. So if you go to actually MacroMillionaire, you'll see that exact same thing. I do a video every morning at around noon. I do a little motivational meme, and then at night I'll do some type of nutrition education. MacroMillionaire, I do the exact same thing. I do a business motivational film in the morning. I call it the morning sprint. Then in the afternoon, it's normally something like, hey, something that would help an entrepreneur. So give. And then at night, it would be like something, a motivation, like black and white meme. So people should be able to look at your social media and be like, wow, this guy gives away a lot of things for free. What's life going to look like if I hire them? So I know Thomas, I mean, all of you guys, I'm just naming names, but Thomas Hilton, just because I was just on the feed, I see a lot that he posts. It's education. I'm like, wow, thanks, Thomas. That's a good tip. Angie Miller, I audited her Facebook earlier. So generally, that's your DMOs is 2 to 3 ED posts: educate, demonstrate, entertain. Cool. Yeah, we have people that are not on this who have never touched the online space at all. You know, we have coaches on here that they purely only do it organic. That's their jam. Totally cool. We're going to equip them just as easy as we can equip anyone else. Awesome, team. Well, if there's not any other questions, just a reminder, okay? Maybe you're in the network and you're like, you're maybe frustrated, or you want to turn up that dial, or maybe you're not in the network. But just remember that someone, if you want motivation to do your DMOs, do your IPAs, someone is waiting for you to find your voice right now. Someone is waiting and saying, please, I wish this person would reach out to me. It's kind of like putting your hand in that black abyss of an ocean, and then somebody needs to grab that hand. That's what motivates me. I might send 50 messages out. I generally get 20%, 25% return. I have no idea who that 25% is that I can help, okay? I just need to kind of cast that put my hand out and say, hey, I found my voice. Are you cool? Let's do this. Let's journey together. Let's climb this mountain together. So appreciate you guys coming in tonight. You guys are absolutely incredible. I'm fired up. Maybe I'll go do reach outs right now, do my DMOs right now. But that is awesome. Really appreciate everyone. Thank you to those who sacrificed their time coming in. So Angie Miller, Jason, Danielle, and of course, Hudson, Erika. Thank you guys for sharing your stories. I guarantee you changed your life today. So have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see everyone back on the Zoom on Monday, and we'll see y'all in the private group the rest of the days. Take care, guys.